Hi there, welcome to today's video. If you're new, hit the subscribe button because we're going to be talking about getting into triathlon. So you're here because you probably enjoy one of the elements of a triathlon, whether it's the swim, the bike or the run, and now you kind of want to combine them all together and join the triathlon community. I started triathlon in 2014, and whilst I am no fantastic triathlete at all, I really enjoy it, so hopefully I'll be able to give you a little bit of an insight from an amateur's perspective. So I did my first triathlon in 2014 and I did the Blenheim Triathlon, which you might have heard of. It's sort of, in my eyes, the kind of London Marathon of a triathlon. It's in a beautiful setting, it makes a great day out for everybody, and it's all enclosed, so you've not got to worry about going on a main road. The only thing I'd say is obviously a lake swim, and a lot of people absolutely hate swimming when they first get into triathlon. So there is that element, but we'll talk a little bit more about pool swims and lake swims as I go on. So if you're a bit nervous, my first advice is to give a GoTri event a go. Now this is an initiative that was set up by Triathlon England to try and encourage people into triathlon. A lot of people think, oh, it's really just for the, for athletes, that's it, the people who train every day, who do this as a full-time job. It isn't. Anyone can do it. So GoTri gives you, kind of almost allows you to dip your toe into what it's like and see if it's for you. So what happens is it will normally be at some sort of a local leisure centre where you'll do a pool swim, you'll do a bike session on a stationary bike, so one you do in a spin class, and then there would be a run that would either be around the leisure centre or it'd be in the hall, or they would just work out something for you to do, but it would all be all together and really, set up and structured in a safe environment, essentially. These are great ways to get in just to kind of give yourself a bit of an idea of how it feels, that what we call a brick session, so going from one activity into the other, because it does feel weird. It does feel weird. There is a very weird feeling of coming out of a swim and then having to run to transition to get your bike. Your legs feel like jelly. It's a weird feeling, or docking your bike and then going off for a run. And as you progress, you'll have to start adding those into your training sessions. So this gives you a great option of having a go without it being a race, essentially. So having a go without it being a race. You can find different events like this, so GoTris happen all over the UK now. It's got so much bigger when it first launched, and most leisure centres will at some point be putting something on. So have a look at the British Triathlon website with all the events. You'll be able to find one in your local area. When you're looking for events on there, you'll also be able to see any small events like super sprints and sprints, which are the ones I'd recommend to first give a go at doing. There'll be quite a few in your local area as well. Most places do them. Admittedly, if you go for the more commercial ones, it is going to cost a lot more money. You're looking at about 40 odd quid maybe for an entry on a kind of a normal, bog standard sort of one, whereas the more commercial ones start going into triple figures, unfortunately. And don't get me started on iron distance, because that's like, you're talking 400, 300, 400 quid, which is a lot of money. So you've really got to be dedicated to get to that stage. So let's talk about the swim first. Okay, a lot of people hate swimming, and I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna try and big swimming up as much as possible here. I couldn't even do front crawl when I started, and I seriously mean I could only barely sort of do breaststroke. I hate breaststroke. I can't see the point of it. I just want to get there quick. So I find breaststroke really frustrating. So I decided to really put a lot of time into swimming. And initially I didn't use anything material wise, so now I use a pool buoy, paddles and flippers, and they're really good for helping my training sessions because now I have a lot more structure to it. But initially I just had a swim cap and some goggles and a well-fitted Speedo swimsuit, all of which I got from TK Maxx. You can get them from specific websites, but you will end up paying more. So I'd strongly suggest going to TK Maxx and getting all of those items from there. You'll get your swim cap, you'll get your goggles, and you'll get your swimsuit, all for a heck of a lot cheaper, or swim trunks, sorry. You'll get those for a lot cheaper. From there, I would honestly just start getting into the pool, getting into the feeling. If you don't swim very often, or at the moment, I'd start just getting into it and then progressing on to buying equipment and, you know, going that way rather than spending all your money straight away. Okay, so the bike. This is a funny one. Everybody, I've noticed this quite a lot, when people have started to get into triathlon, they've bought a bike that's been really, really expensive straight away. And they obviously don't know if they're really gonna like it or if they're gonna get out on their bike very often. I don't think you need to spend a ridiculous amount of money. You can do this cheap. We built my bike, which was a second-hand frame, and then got the wheels and got all the other bits to go with it second-hand. And it was my husband that put it together, so I can't take any credit for it. And we had a second-hand Quintana Roo frame, which is a specific tri bike. It's nothing carbon fiber, none of this fancy stuff. You know what? I'm not really in it for, you know, shaving off seconds of a triathlon. That's not what I'm about. I just want a bike that works, that I really like. I've got purple bar tape, I have a bright pink saddle, do you know what I mean? And I have yellow tyres, and that's fine, and I really like that about my bike. It's very me, so you don't actually need to spend a ridiculous amount of money. Have a look on places like Spock, eBay, GoTri, free ads. You can get second-hand bikes so much cheaper, so do have a look. You know, don't spend more than 300 quid on a bike is what I'm saying to start with. You know, helmets, you know, Specialized I think they do a helmet that's like £12, so you really don't need to buy or spend a lot. One thing I would say is if you are doing a lot of training, I'd probably look to invest in some proper cycle shorts with padding. You will feel it otherwise. You can go in normal shorts and leggings and stuff, and that's what I did initially, and my gosh, getting some cycle shorts was the best thing I did. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, Sports Direct is really good for some kit like that, but I'd actually strongly suggest looking for when the offers weeks come up in Aldi, because they do a tri-specific one, and you can even get tri-suits if you wanted one for, I think they're about maybe 15 quid. So you can get one and then, you know, train in a tri-suit, so then you get a feel for it. And yeah, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money. But do have a look on the Aldi stuff for offers, because that really does help. They also have, you know, swim one, a bike one, and running specific bits, that offers that go on a week, at various weeks. So you can often get some good bargains without having to spend so much money. Okay, so the running thing. Now, everybody has a different kind of running style. You might have trainers that you're fine with at the moment. In that case, just follow a Couch to 5K. If you are such a newbie and you don't know much about running, follow something like that. You can download apps, you know, to guide you, which is a great start, and then progress from there. I'd probably suggest, like with all of this, see how you go before you start investing too much money into it. But if you have got to a point where you want to progress, I'd strongly suggest going to a running specific shop or a specialist where you can run on a treadmill and they will record your running style. So I know I'm a neutral foot and I only run short distance, so I get on really well with trainers like the Adidas Ultra Boost. But then if you're running for longer distance, I'd probably lean something less lightweight and something a bit more supportive. So they will guide you. You're obviously not always obligated to buy them, but they will give you ideas on what kind of trainers are going to work for you. That's the next step up essentially. But what I would do to start with is simply go for runs and follow a little program like Couch to 5K is a perfect example. So going back to swimming, in a triathlon, you will have either an open water swim or a swimming pool swim. Now, I have actually never done a triathlon in a swimming pool. It bothers me. I don't like it because I feel there is an element of pressure to swim at a certain speed, whereas in a lake, I feel that I have plenty of, I've got enough space to stop if I need to, or if I want to power on, I can power on. And that's why I prefer it. Plus, in a wetsuit, it's almost like a float because you can just stop, and we call it the otter, and I'll just otter like this and then get myself back and going again. I've gone to a local lake called Six Hills where my triathlon club is. I'll talk to you about that in a second. My triathlon club is, and I've just swum in the lake there. There are lots of places you can go lake swimming. It's becoming so much more popular. There's a lot more places, so do have a look out. And you know, you can often rent the wetsuits there. Wetsuits are expensive, I'm very aware of that, but that is something you could look on Spock, GoTri, and all those places to get one. Speedo do ones that are relatively cheap. Audi again do ones that are cheap when they have their offers coming up, so don't spend a fortune and then progress. I think that's the kind of moral of the story here. Don't spend too much to start with, see how you get on and then go into it. I prefer a lake swim. I don't know if I'll ever do a swimming pool swim. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not so sure. So who knows, but I prefer the lake swim. A lot of people have their own preference on that one. Okay, other things that will help with progression in triathlon. One of the big things this year that was really scary that I did, and something I actually would really recommend, is joining a tri club. This would be great for progression because you have a lot of coach sessions. They'll just sort of help you get better in certain areas. For example, we have a swim session on a Thursday, and the coach there will monitor how you're swimming and help and give you guidance in how you can get better at it. That's something I wouldn't get out of just my normal training. I'd probably end up picking up bad habits because no one was monitoring what I'm doing. You know, when you see people in the swimming pool and you're thinking, gosh, that swim stroke's really, really weird, or that, you know, you're not bringing your elbow high enough, all this kind of stuff, even though, you know, you don't want to start picking up bad habits. So I would recommend joining some sort of a club. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific tri club. I personally think a tri club is a good idea because you can obviously work on each element. Some people prefer to join a running club. And do you know what? It isn't as quite as scary as you think. There are a lot of people who are amateurs, just like me and just like you, that are just doing it because they enjoy it. They're not athletes. And I think once you get past that and realise that that is what's actually happening, that it's normal people who have a 9-to-5 job who do this because they love it. Once you realise that's what it is, then it makes it so much easier. I've met some really great people out of it. It's such a great idea and I can't recommend it enough. It's been one of the best things I've done this year, and my swimming has come on leaps and bounds, my cycling, all those things. With cycling to progress, I would suggest getting a turbo trainer. Turbo trainer is like, it clips onto the back of your bike, so it's your own bike that you would do a race with, and it keeps you stationary, but then you can cycle. So you can do training when it's raining. If you don't like it, if you're a fair weather cyclist like myself, then you can stick it in the garage, or you know, if you've just got a certain set that you need to do, that's a really good idea. I'd also actually suggest doing stuff like spin classes, because sometimes that's quite good as well. Running to progress with running, I would obviously suggest joining a running club or looking at your training plan. So looking at, if you've just done the couch to 5k, then look at the 5k to 10k and so on and so forth. I would also suggest running buddies. That's good because obviously it makes it more enjoyable, and also you can check your running posture and style with each other. For races and such like, you know, I think you just have to give things a go. If you absolutely hate it, you absolutely hate it. But I do think starting with the kind of easy events, just sort of dip your toe in on the GoTri level, they are perfect. And then look at the more local events and build yourself up from there. I've absolutely loved triathlon since getting into it, and I get such an adrenaline rush. It's, you know, no race makes me, I'm still nervous every time I rack my bike and I'm waiting to get into the lake, and I've got my wetsuit on and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But it's the best feeling in the world, crossing that line, knowing you've actually done more than run, more than just bike, and more than just swim. on their own, you've done it all together. Do you know what? You don't know where you're going to be. You don't know if you're going to like it or not until you try it. So all I can say is give a GoTri event a go, see how you get on, and then you know where I am if you want to chat about other races. I've got quite a few this year, looking to progress to standard distance. I tend to just do sprints, but I'm hoping to progress to a standard distance and then maybe half Ironman. Don't think Ironman's for me. I'm gonna leave that to my husband because that just is crazy. And anyway, so hopefully this has given you a little bit of an insight into triathlon. You know where I am if you want. I've got any questions, and hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.